Hi, I'm going to be talking about the movie Wild Men. I caught it on a streaming service. I thought I'd take a punt on it. I didn't know much about it, and I'm glad I did. It was worth my time. It's a 2021 Danish Norwegian comedy about masculinity that morphs into a crime movie to add some extra spice to the proceedings. It's about Martin, who's living in the Norwegian forest. At first, we think it could be a prehistoric movie because he's wearing furs, he's got a bow and arrow. Think Quest for Fire from the 1980s, which, if you're into prehistoric movies, or even if you're not, I highly recommend that movie. But back to Martin, back to Wild Men. He's in the forest, he's been living there for 10 days. He's trying to live off the land, he's trying to be authentic, we come to realise. Eschew the trappings of modern life, and what ends up happening is that he can't live off the land. He doesn't seem to have done any preparation for survival, none of these survival camps or survival weekends. He's not able to kill any wild game, and he's starving, and what he's able to do is club a frog. Luckily we don't see the clubbing, but we do watch him roast a frog over an open fire, and it does not look appetizing, and then we watch him eat it, and I gagged. And I think the filmmakers know that we're going to gag because they do a jump cut from night to daytime, and Martin throwing up the frog in the river. So he's starving at this point, and he decides to go to a petrol station to barter to get some food, but obviously fur and axes aren't currency, and it ends up robbing the petrol station. And this film, Wild Men, is about a midlife crisis. I think it taps into audiences' enjoyment of post-apocalyptic movies, dystopian futures, where as much as the let's just say the luxuries of life have gone, a simpler life is offered instead, just survival. I think many people feel that there's too much admin. They have thousands of tasks to do, an endless to-do list. I mean, look at the adverts for productivity apps and strategies for improving your productivity. And I think Wild Men and apocalypse movies, they tap into the need for a simpler life, or the desire for a simpler life, and not only that is that we seem to be surrounded by dubious consumerism and responsibility, which comes with benefits too. Having a loving family, it has benefits, but also it can be a heavy responsibility to look after those that you love. And also, not only that, is that, on the news we're watching, and the sadness around the world, hardship, tragedy, and it takes a toll if you keep watching so much of it. And I think many of the audience who will be watching apocalypse movies, maybe watching Wild Men, they want to maybe close their ears, close their eyes to some of it. And Martin's character going into the forest is about that's regress back eons, as if that would make life happier. I mean, try living without antibiotics. But the film, has a serious point, even though it says it in a very jokey way, that there is this desire among many people. But on the other hand, the comedy also comes from the fact that Martin seems to have had an easy life. He admits at one point that his wife will do anything for him, and he, by giving up the trappings of the modern world, is that not showing ingratitude, or is it showing entitlement? How many people would want to swap their lives for Martin's stable lifestyle? I think the film hints at that, or that there is and a sense of entitlement if you want to give up all the modern trappings for for a simpler life. Obviously, the film doesn't go for the middle ground about how one might do that. It doesn't offer that. I said it offers comedy, because at the same time as Martin trying to eke out an existence in the Norwegian vast woodlands, 3 marijuana drug dealers end up in a crunching car crash. I mean, it's wince-inducing. One seems to have survived out of the 3. His name is Musa, and he's got the cash, and he crawls into the forest, and obviously he and Martin end up bumping into each other. He doesn't tell Martin who he is, but Martin is a kindly soul and offers to help him get to his destination without knowing why he needs to be there, why Musa needs to be there. Watching Martin patch up Musa's leg wound also causes another gag inducing reflex when he very unhygienically patches him up. You do not want that kind of medical care. He and Musa now are teamed up in a sort of buddy cop, no, not cop route. Well, actually, the cops come a bit later. Buddy comedy where Musa is this cynical and astute character, while Martin is naive and going through an existential crisis. And so you've got these two odd couple on the run now, because the police are after Musa as he's on the sort of drug dealing wanted list, and Martin for robbing that petrol station. And then the drug dealers aren't dead, actually. One of them is particularly disfigured, but both are very angry. So there's now a hunt, a chase film going on at the same time as a survival film. And the film is just riddled with humiliations for the men in the movie. Martin, Musa, Musa's colleagues, the head of the police, the police underlings of the boss, the petrol station manager, and wait till you get to a Viking fair leader. So there's plenty of sort of humiliation for the audience. I mean, you have to watch it through your fingers through the film. And I found the film very, very enjoyable. The ending, without saying too much, avoids conventional moralizing and neat bows. You don't know whether Martin will make it up with his family. The film Wild Men is filled with narrative rug pulls, which I find refreshing, so it's not obvious where the story's going, and the writing and the acting are commendable. Overall, Wild Men is very enjoyable. I don't know, it's a shame why more people aren't talking about Wild Men. I highly recommend it, and I hope you enjoy it as well.